The chamber of the Galaxy Council was silent. Dozens of alien leaders sat around a long circular table made of glowing crystal. They did not speak, they did not move, and they did not breathe loudly. Something in the air felt heavy. Something felt wrong. The reason was standing at the center of the room, an old elder, his skin gray like fading stone, his eyes glowing with ancient fear. He raised his trembling staff and spoke in a low, shaking voice. "Listen, all of you. A warning must be given today." The other leaders watched him with confusion. Some whispered to each other, wondering why an elder, one of the oldest beings in the galaxy, was trembling like a frightened child. A tall reptilian general spoke first. "Elder, what threat could fear you? You have lived for 10,000 years." The elder did not smile. He only looked down, as if remembering something painful. "It is not what, but who," the elder said. "We must not provoke the humans." A wave of laughter moved through the chamber. Several leaders leaned back in their chairs, amused. Others looked offended that such a dramatic meeting was held for something as small as humans, the newest and smallest species in the galaxy. A bird-like ambassador scoffed loudly. "Humans. Those emotional creatures. They are unstable. They fight among themselves. They are weak." Another leader added, "They have been in space for only 2 centuries. They are barely children." But the elder struck his staff on the floor. A deep echo filled the chamber. "You do not understand," he said sharply. "Humanity is different. Their strength is not in their weapons. Their power is not in their numbers. Their danger is in their nature." The elders behind him nodded silently. A small, nervous leader whispered, "What nature do you speak of?" The elder looked at him, eyes full of memories he wished he could erase. "When humans are threatened," he said slowly, "they change. Something awakens inside them. Something unstoppable. Something we have seen only once, long ago." The room grew colder. The lights dimmed. Even the leaders who mocked humans began to look uneasy. The elder lifted his hand. A hologram appeared in the air, showing a destroyed star system. Burned planets. Silent moons. The skeletons of ancient ships drifting like ghosts. "This," the elder said, "was caused by humans." Gasps filled the room. The reptilian general stood up angrily. "Impossible. Humans did not have such power in the past." "They did not need power," the elder replied. "They needed only a reason." His voice softened, but the fear in his tone grew. A small colony of theirs was attacked. A minor raid. Less than 1,000 human lives were lost. But to humans, loss does not create fear. It creates purpose. He showed another hologram, human ships, old and rusty, but moving with speed and fire in their eyes. "They came for revenge," the elder whispered. "They fought with everything they had. They destroyed fleets far larger than their own. They burned the enemy's homeworld. They ended an entire race." The chamber fell silent again. For the first time, every leader understood, humans were not weak. They were not simple. They were something else entirely. A cold tension spread through the room. Still, one young commander refused to accept it. He was from the Varkon Empire, proud and ambitious, known for testing limits. "With respect, elder," he said, leaning forward, "you fear them too much. Humans are emotional, yes. But emotions make them foolish. If they are dangerous, then they must be tested again. They must be controlled." The elder stared at him with deep sorrow. "If you test them," he said, "you will not control them. You will wake them." But the young commander smiled, as if he had already decided his path. "Perhaps it is time the galaxy learns whether humans are truly as powerful as your stories say." The elder took a slow step toward him. "Child, do not make this mistake." But the commander turned away. In the far corner of the room, he tapped his communicator. His voice was cold. Send the fleet. Begin observation of the human borders. A silent alarm hit the elders' faces. The commander was not simply talking, he was already acting. The elder gripped his staff tightly. You bring doom upon us all. But the commander did not look back. He left the chamber, his cloak trailing behind him like a shadow. The other leaders whispered fearfully. Should we stop him? Should we warn the humans? What if the elder is right? But the elder only closed his eyes. It is too late. The humans will feel what is coming. They will respond. And when they do, the galaxy will change again. In the darkness of space, far from the council chamber, the young commander's fleet moved quietly toward human territory. Engines glowed red. Weapons powered up. Soldiers prepared for their test. But something was wrong. Human long-range sensors detected the fleet the moment it entered their region. Lights blinked across Earth's command rooms. Officers stood up. A silent code was sent to every human ship. Level 1 alert, unknown fleet approaching. Humanity will not bow. The first move had been made. The galaxy held its breath. The forbidden warning had been ignored. And now, something ancient inside humanity began to wake. The Varkon commander sat inside his flagship, a cold metal throne behind him and a long screen in front. The galaxy outside looked calm, peaceful, harmless. But the commander's eyes were sharp. He believed he was about to prove something great. He believed he was about to expose the truth behind the elder's old fear. His fleet was large. 100 warships followed him through the dark void, engines glowing like burning suns. Every soldier aboard felt confident. They had won dozens of battles before. They had conquered entire moons. In their minds, the humans would be no different. But deep inside the flagship, one young officer felt uneasy. Commander, the officer whispered, human space is quiet, too quiet. The commander smiled. Silence is not a threat. But the elder's voice echoed in his memory, when humans are silent, beware. He shook the thought away. Continue forward, he ordered. The fleet moved closer to the human border, expecting to see defense lines, patrol ships, or warning satellites. But there was nothing. Only dark space. Empty and endless. The officer swallowed nervously. Sir, their territory should begin here. But I see no ships. That means they are afraid, the commander said confidently. Or they are unprepared. But far away on Earth, human command centers were very active. Alarms flashed. Officers monitored every movement of the Varkon fleet. Fighters were ready. Defense cannons were charged. Human ships stood waiting in the shadows, using technology no alien knew existed. A human captain named Erin stood inside her black stealth ship, the Silent Wing. Around her, screens showed the alien fleet approaching. They're confident, she said softly. They think they're safe. Her second officer nodded. Should we reveal ourselves? Erin shook her head. No. Not yet. They must make the first mistake. Human ships were hidden inside dark clouds of space dust, inside shadowed asteroid belts, and even behind the radiation storms. They watched the Varkon fleet closely, like hunters waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Back in the alien flagship, the atmosphere grew colder. The officer kept checking his scanners. Commander, something is wrong. Our long-range sensors are failing. The commander frowned. Run diagnostics. We already did, sir. 3 times. The systems are fine. But something is blocking our scans. The commander leaned forward. Humans. No, at least not directly. The officer paused. It feels like someone is watching us. The commander laughed. Humans don't have such technology. But the elder's voice echoed again, humans grow stronger when threatened. The commander ignored the memory. Still, he felt something he never felt before, doubt. The fleet continued moving. The silence outside grew heavier. The stars looked dimmer. Even the engines felt quieter, like the darkness itself was swallowing their sound. Then it happened. The lights on the flagship flickered. Once. Twice. Then all screens went black. The officer jumped. "Sir. We're losing power." The commander stood quickly. "What is happening?" Outside, every Varkon ship experienced the same thing. Engines dimmed. Weapons shut down. Shields flickered like dying lanterns. The pilots panicked. "Are we under attack?" No enemy detected. No weapons firing. No contact. Inside the silent wing, Captain Aaron watched calmly. "Activate Phase 1, she said. A soft hum vibrated through her ship. A wave of invisible energy spread out like a silent pulse. It touched every Varkon ship without leaving a mark. But inside every alien vessel, systems froze. This was not a weapon. This was a message. A demonstration. The commander gripped the side of his chair. "Someone is interfering with my fleet. Identify the source." The officer tried to regain control. I can't. It's like something is surrounding us. Something we can't see." The commander's heart began to beat faster. "Activate backup scanners. They're offline. Use manual controls. They're frozen." He clenched his fists. "Impossible. Who has this kind of technology?" The officer turned slowly toward him. His voice trembled. "Commander. Humans." And then, for the first time, they heard it. A voice. Calm. Cold. Human. Broadcasted across every ship. "Varkon Fleet. This is Captain Aaron of the Human Alliance. You have entered restricted space." Every alien became silent. The voice echoed through the metal hallways, through the speakers, through the minds of the soldiers. It was not angry. It was not afraid. It was only confident. The commander stepped toward the screen. "Human captain. You dare challenge the Varkon Empire?" Aaron replied with a soft laugh. "Challenge? No. You challenged us." The commander's jaw tightened. "Release our systems immediately." "I will," Aaron said, "if you turn your fleet around." "You expect us to retreat?" he growled. "Yes," she answered. "This is your only warning." Her tone was simple, but the entire fleet felt the weight of it. The commander shouted, "Humans are nothing. You use tricks, not real power." Aaron replied, "You entered our space. You provoked us. But you still do not understand what you're dealing with." Her ship uncloaked. One ship. One black, silent, ghost-like ship. But to the Varkon fleet, it looked like death itself. The officer whispered, fear building in his throat. There was no detection. No engine heat. No signal. How did they hide? Aaron's voice came again. "This is your last chance." The commander shook with pride and anger. "I refuse." Aaron sighed. "Then this is on you." The stars around the fleet shifted. More human ships appeared out of nowhere, silent, dark, invisible until now. They surrounded the Varkon ships from every angle, dozens of them. Every alien heart froze. The commander felt cold sweat on his skin. Then Aaron spoke one final line. "You should have listened to the elders." And the silence of space shattered. The moment the human ships revealed themselves, the Varkon fleet fell completely silent. The alien soldiers stared through their windows, their hearts sinking as the dark human vessels hovered around them like shadows made of steel. These were not normal ships. They made no noise. They left no trail. They appeared without warning. It felt like the darkness of space itself had taken shape to watch them. Inside the flagship, the commander tried to hide the fear building in his chest. "Focus," he barked at his officers. "We are warriors of the Varkon Empire. Humans cannot trap us this easily." But the words felt weak, even to him. The officer shook his head. "Sir, our weapons are still offline. Our engines too. If they attack, we cannot fight back." The commander slammed his fist on the console. "We will not show fear." But fear had already spread. The human captain, Erin, stood inside her ship, watching them. Her expression did not change. She did not shout, she did not threaten. She only observed, calm, calculating, patient. She lifted her hand. "Activate Phase 2. A silent pulse spread again, but this time something inside the alien ship shifted. Systems flickered on and off, lights blinked, alarms screamed, and then everything went still. Not destroyed. Not shut down. Just, frozen. The Varkon commander felt his knees weaken. "What is this?" he demanded. The officer whispered, "They are controlling our whole fleet, without firing a single shot." The commander looked around at his helpless soldiers. Their screens showed the same message blinking again and again. "Human alliance, priority warning. Do not advance. Do not provoke. This is your final chance." The commander felt anger burn inside him. He refused to accept defeat without fighting. "Prepare a manual override," he shouted. But the officer's voice cracked. "Sir, the controls are locked. We cannot move anything." The commander stared at him. "What do you mean locked? Who locked them?" Before the officer could answer, Erin's voice filled the flagship again. "I locked them," she said. "To stop you from making a mistake." Something inside the commander snapped. "A mistake? You dare speak of mistakes? You humans are nothing but reckless, emotional." Erin cut him off. "You attacked our borders. You ignored the elders. You put your soldiers at risk. And now, you want to blame us?" Her voice remained calm, but there was something sharp behind it, something dangerous. The commander tried to speak, but no words came out. Erin continued. "You think emotion is weakness. But it is the strongest weapon in the universe. You cannot understand that." Behind her, the shadow-like human ships began to expand their formations, moving closer. Their hulls shimmered, absorbing light. For the first time, the Varkon fleet saw symbols glowing across the human vessels, something ancient, something powerful. The commander felt sweat on his hands. "Humans have changed," the officer whispered. "No," Erin replied, hearing them through the comms. "We did not change. We adapted." The officer swallowed hard. "Commander, we must retreat." The commander refused. His pride, his ego, his fear, all mixed into one dangerous thought. "We fire," he whispered. The officer froze. "Sir, we cannot even aim." "Find a way," the commander shouted. "We are Varkon. We do not bow." But deep inside the flagship, the crew trembled. They knew this was not bravery, this was madness. And the humans knew it too. Erin nodded to her tactical officer. "Show them." A beam of blue light shot from the silent wing. It did not explode. It did not burn. It passed through the Varkon flagship like a ghost. Yet inside the ship, alarms roared. The officer gasped. "Commander. Our weapons bay has been erased." He checked the scan again. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Erased, gone, as if it never existed. The commander staggered backward. How is this possible? Aaron's voice came again, colder this time. You came to measure our strength. This is a small piece of it. Outside, the other human ships released soft waves of light, and one by one, the Varkon weapons disappeared from every ship. The alien soldiers watched in terror as their mighty warships were stripped clean, no guns, no missile tubes, no energy cannons. The Varkon fleet was now a fleet of hollow shells. The commander felt his pride collapse. He fell into his chair. This was defeat. But Aaron was not finished. You think we want war, she said. We do not. But we will defend ourselves. And if someone threatens us, we will respond with everything we have. She paused. Humans do not bow. The officer turned to the commander. Sir, we must surrender. The commander's eyes filled with shame and fear. He had never surrendered in his life. But this was different. This was not war, this was something else. Something beyond anything he understood. He lowered his head. This is my fault. Aaron spoke one last time. We will escort you out of our territory. Do not return. And warn your leaders. The elders told you the truth. The humans deactivated the lock on the Varkon ships. Engines hummed again. Systems returned. Safety lights blinked. But the weapons did not return. Those were taken as a message. Slowly, the Varkon fleet turned around. As they departed, the officer whispered, Commander, if this is their power now, what will they be in the future? The commander had no answer. Deep in his heart, he finally understood. The humans were not the threat. They were the warning. And something far worse was coming. The Varkon fleet returned home in silence. No victory songs. No proud roars. Only fear. A deep, quiet fear that spread from ship to ship like a cold wind. Every soldier avoided looking at their commander. No one asked questions. No one spoke. They were too afraid of the truth. Humans had not just defeated them. Humans had controlled them. As the ships landed on the Varkon capital world, the leaders rushed to meet the commander. They expected a strong report, a confident speech. But when he stepped out of his flagship, his face was pale. His eyes looked empty. His pride was gone. The High Chancellor approached him. Commander, what happened? Where are your weapons? The commander swallowed, his voice shaking. The humans took them. A wave of shock moved through the hall of war. Took them? How? What weapon did they use? The commander looked down at his trembling hands. They did not use a weapon. They used something else. Something we cannot understand. He remembered the human ships appearing from the shadows. He remembered their calm voices. Their cold confidence. Their impossible technology. He remembered his helplessness. The Chancellor grew angry. You mean to tell me the humans defeated you without firing? Without fighting? The commander nodded. Yes. And they could have destroyed us, easily. Gasps echoed through the hall. But the worst part wasn't the defeat. It was the message the humans left behind, a warning. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, word of the Varkon humiliation spread like wildfire. Every empire, every faction, every race heard the same whispered story. Humans stopped a fleet without war. Humans erased their weapons. Humans were ready, before the attack even started. Alien leaders gathered in emergency meetings. Panic filled their voices. How did they gain such power? Were the elders hiding something? What if humans become unstoppable? What if they already are? Inside the floating city of the Galaxy Council, the elders listened quietly. They had expected this moment. They knew the galaxy would fear the humans. They knew war or peace now depended on how the next hours unfolded. The oldest elder stepped forward. "We must speak with the humans," he said. "But will they listen to us?" another elder asked. "They always listen," the old one replied. "The question is, will we understand what they say?" While the galaxy trembled in confusion and fear, the humans did not celebrate. There were no victory speeches. No cheers. No pride. Inside the Human Alliance Command Hall, Captain Aaron stood with other officers. The room glowed with screens showing different parts of the galaxy. Every human leader looked serious. Admiral Ryan spoke first. "The Varkon commander has retreated. Their weapons are removed. Their pride is broken." Aaron nodded. "They will not attack again. Fear is now in their blood." "But fear spreads," another officer said. "The rest of the galaxy will not stay silent. Some will panic. Some will attack. Some will beg for help." Admiral Ryan looked at the screen showing a silent, dark region of space, one no alien dared to go near. A region only humans monitored. He whispered, "The real enemy is coming. The galaxy is not ready." Aaron understood. This was not just about the Varkon Empire. This was about the entire universe. On the other side of the galaxy, the Varkon commander was brought to a private room, where the elders appeared through hologram projection. Their eyes were heavy with disappointment. The old elder spoke softly. "Child, you have seen what we tried to warn the galaxy about." The commander lowered his head. "I was wrong. I thought humans were weak. I thought they were emotional. I thought they were simple." He lifted his eyes slowly, fear shining in them. "But they are not simple. They are something else. They think fast, move fast, react fast. They can turn fear into strength, pain into purpose." The elder stepped closer. "Humans are not the danger." The commander frowned. "Then what is?" The elder whispered only one word. "Them." Before the commander could ask, the hall shook. Lights flickered. The elder's holograms distorted. Outside, the sky darkened. Alarms blared throughout the Varkon capital. A guard rushed in. "High Chancellor. Something massive is entering our system." The elders grew pale. Aaron, far away in her human command ship, saw the same alert appear on her screen. "Unknown entity detected, classified threat level, Omega." For a moment, no one spoke. No one moved. Every species across the galaxy felt the shift in space. Like something enormous, waking from a long sleep. The elder whispered. The humans tried to prepare. But now, the test begins. Aaron stared at the readings. The object was not a ship. Not a station. Not a planet. It was bigger. Older. And heading straight toward the galaxy. She whispered to her crew. "Call every human fleet. Prepare everything. The universe is about to learn why humanity never bows." The unknown object moved slowly through the star system, but every second of its movement felt like a thunderstrike across the galaxy. Sensors on every world shook. Defense networks glitched. Even ancient satellites, untouched for thousands of years, woke up in panic. Inside the Human Alliance Command Hall, Captain Aaron watched the readings with growing fear. "This is not from any empire," she whispered. "Not Varkon. Not Zyreth. Not anyone." Admiral Ryan nodded slowly. "I know. This is something older." A soft alarm echoed through the hall. "Threat identified, ancient entity, origin unknown. Estimated size, 4 planets. Estimated age, beyond recorded history." Every human officer went silent. The entity wasn't approaching a planet. It wasn't approaching a star. It was heading toward the heart of the galaxy itself, toward the center where ancient secrets slept. Across the galaxy, panic rose. The Varkon Chancellor shouted at his council. What weapon can stop this? The elders answered softly. There is none. The Chancellor froze. Then, we are doomed. The elder shook his head. No. Humanity still stands. The Chancellor felt a chill run down his spine. You mean, only the humans can face it? The elder nodded. They were born for moments like this. In deep space, human fleet command activated every ship. Carriers, destroyers, stealth wings, drone swarms, thousands of vessels came alive one by one. Lights flickered across Earth's orbit. Massive engines roared. The sky turned bright as giant warships rose into space. Captain Aaron stood at the front of the fleet. All units ready, her officer reported. Aaron took a slow breath. We face something we do not understand. Something no one has seen before. But we do not run. We do not bow. Her voice echoed across hundreds of ships. We are humanity. And today, we show the galaxy why the elders fear our resolve. The fleet moved toward the entity. Meanwhile, the Varkon commander stood at a large viewing window, watching the unknown object grow bigger in the sky. His hands shook. It's absorbing radiation, he whispered. It is feeding. Suddenly, the stars around the entity twisted, like something bending the fabric of space. A strange humming sound spread across the system, felt more in the bones than in the ears. The commander stepped back. This thing is alive. The elder appeared behind him. It is older than every empire. Older than the council. Older than memory. What does it want? The commander asked. The elder closed his eyes. Hunger. He pointed at the human fleet now rushing across the star map. And they are the only ones who can stop it. Human ships approached the massive entity. They were like insects compared to the creature's size. It had no face, no eyes, no form, just a shifting mass of dark energy, moving silently like a shadow eating the stars. Aaron stared at it. It's beautiful, she whispered. And terrifying. Suddenly, the entity pulsed. A shockwave hit the human fleet. Lights flickered. Shields cracked. Several ships drifted sideways. Stabilize. Aaron shouted. Her tactical officer stared at the readings. Captain, the entity is scanning us. For what? The officer's voice dropped. For life. Another pulse exploded outward. This time, it was stronger. Human ships struggled to hold formation. A destroyer spun out of control, but another ship caught it and pulled it back. Aaron clenched her fists. It is testing us. Admiral Ryan's voice echoed through the fleet. All ships, prepare counterpulse. Human vessels glowed with blue light. A synchronized shockwave burst outward, meeting the entity's pulse head-on. For a moment, the universe went silent. Then, a crack appeared in the entity's outer shell of dark energy. The galaxy felt it. The Varkon commander whispered, they heard it. Humans actually heard it. The elder's eyes widened. This is only the beginning. The entity reacted. It opened. Not like a mouth, not like a door, something worse. A tear in space itself opened inside the creature, showing a swirling darkness deeper than the void. Something moved inside that darkness. Something waking. Something answering. Aaron felt the hair on her arms rise. Admiral, something is coming out of it. The scanners screamed. Multiple signatures detected. Unknown shapes emerging. Estimated count, 300. 600. 1200. The officer froze. Captain, they're ships. Aaron stared forward. The entity was birthing them. One by one, dark vessels slid out of the creature's core. They had no designs, no engines, no lights. They moved like ghosts. Like thoughts. Like nightmares formed into metal. And they began forming a formation, directly facing the human fleet. The galaxy watched in horror. The human fleet held steady. Erin whispered to her crew. Send a transmission to every alien world. Message, Captain. She looked at the enemy ship spreading like a swarm across the stars. Tell them, the real war has begun.